All
Welcome,
right.
welcome everyone. Steven, I don't know if you wanted to start off. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, I was just going to jump in and welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. This is the Green Community Call. My name is Stephen Miller. Brett is obviously here, and just so glad to have everyone here participating. Um, love this project. I've always loved this project. I have people that have known me, that as part of this community for a long time that reach out to me all the time, and I love that. I love that this is such a tight knit community. That being said, I also love that the community is growing and has grown quite tremendously over the last couple years, several years, and so anyway, just really glad to be here. Welcome everyone. If this is your first time on the call, a huge welcome to you. If you've been on these calls before, welcome back. Thanks for being here. It's always great to have the support this community brings. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. I'll go ahead and Thomas, I'll turn the time over to you. Thanks for being here, being willing, and being part of the community.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Steven. It's wonderful to be here. As people know, for those who haven't met me, again, Thomas Foley. I work on product and strategy here. I'll be co-presenting today with Brett. One thing to really just call out, Tom Few unfortunately cannot make it today to the call, but he sends his regards. He also sends his best wishes. Hope you had a wonderful Valentine's night and Valentine's Day. I learned that I struggle to cook scallops, so I'll have to improve my cooking game. But really hope you had a wonderful time with that. Today's agenda is as follows. I'm going to briefly take us through some more welcome details and announcements. We'll then give an update on Oven Solar, get into Set Power Free update, and then go into the closed Q&A. Again, really excited. Thank you to those who responded to the closed Q&A survey. We got some great results. We'll talk about that. We'll also continue to do that into the future, and we're really excited about that. So that brings us to our first announcement. So we at Set Power Free are really excited about building the green community and really taking the next step to drive maturity within this Web3 community. And part of that we see is helping to be a catalyst and introduce a new community call to celebrate and bring awareness to the different community members that are supporting the green project and are developing the utility of green and the nodes. Part of this is that we're looking for a host. So this is somebody from the community who would be interested in hosting the call. The call would, again, the purpose is to enable different people out there. We've heard a lot about the different projects or different efforts of different groups, community members. We really want to celebrate that. Set Power Free would love to be a guest on that call to come talk about what we are doing and what our enclave of community members is developing, but we don't want to take the whole limelight every time. Again, the current today currently focuses on Set Power Free and its partners. We will continue to have a separate call. The next call for Set Power Free would be on the 14th of March at 9 a.m. Say that's Tuesday, so back to the original second Tuesday of the month calendar. Same link, same people, hopefully prettier faces than mine. But we're really excited to work through this. The Set Power Free's role in this is to assist in coordination, scheduling, and video conferencing. So excited to hear the reaction to this on Discord. Yes, we are on Discord. We are listening. We're watching. But also please reach out directly through support.setpowerfree.com through the feedback aspect. But that's our announcement and also the reminder for the next call. Let's get a little bit into talking about Oven. And before I give a full update on Oven, legal wanted me to make an important business and legal clarification. And that is simply that Set Power Free and Oven are independent business entities. From a legal sense, from a business sense, they are totally independent. Oven has no direct connection to Green or Set Power Free. That said, given its business vendor relationship to Set Power Free and previous community calls, we have already given updates on Oven, and we're pleased to continue to give updates on Oven's progress since Tom last spoke in January. So with that disclosure out of the way, let's talk a little bit about this. So you guys have already seen this slide. This is Oven's roadmap. This is our trajectory, primarily focusing on steps 1 through 4. Lender financing is out there, but we're not really pushing towards it. But really the takeaway, and really what I want you guys to take away from the open update, is that per the plan, we're executing. We've hired a number of reps and we've started initial sales, and everyone we've hired has deep industry experience and strong downlines. And in this phase of our operations, this recruiting and building phase, we are intentionally pressure testing all of our processes. The goal here is to really take the time to really make sure that we identify the friction points and actually go build. So rather than just rushing and throwing all our capital into sales, we want to make sure that we're prepared for scale and to launch a best-in-class service. So we're really excited about what's going on here. Happy to talk about this in future calls. Should the community be more interested in this? But this is the update on Oven that we're going to take and we're going to start on for now. Turning our attention to Set Power Free, there is a couple details that I do. Also, another disclosure that we want to talk about. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about roadmap and about PowerPay, which roughly 70% of you from the closed survey were keen to get an update on. There will be more that will come as I'll talk about as I roll through this. But the first thing out of the way, important clarifications from legal and compliance. And we picked one of the message out Discord to illustrate the topics and the kind of the way things are approached in the group. But there's really 3 key items that we need to focus on and that legal and compliance wants us to emphasize. One is that no one group or entity owns the green token, the green community does. Second, the entity, Green United LLC or Green, is being wound down per its original mandate to fully decentralize. Therefore, Green is not nor cannot create utility for Green. Only, again, the community members can. And then finally here is that Set Power Free, SPF as it's colloquially known, is an organization of community members and is focusing on increasing the utility of Green. Its efforts are not designed to increase secondary market value of Green. By definition, the market, the community, is the sole determiner of market value. One thing to double down on though here is, and from all of us, is that we firmly believe in the potential that decentralized blockchain-based technologies will have to be a catalyst on revolutionizing our relationships with energy. We care deeply about that. We're working against that. And I know you don't hear from us as much as you'd like. We're working with legal to change that and to develop more of a public voice, not just through these forums. But we have our heads down and we're really pushing to make sure we're delivering on PowerPay, a streamlined way to pay for energy with Green, among other initiatives. We'll touch briefly on those initiatives here today, but just really want to let that settle and make sure that this is clearly communicated to the community and to all stakeholders involved. So let's talk about a little bit about the roadmap. So today we're going to focus on base utility. So this is our first phase, if you will, of the roadmap, the next couple quarters. There is, of course, a much larger picture that we have that we're working with compliance on, we're working with the businesses on and our various stakeholders to make sure that we're generating value for the community, for our individual users, and we're driving this blockchain-based revolution that we're really excited about. We'll share more about that as we go forward. But for today, we're just going to drill into base utility. And when I say base utility, it really comes down to these 3 pieces here. Number 1 is our new UI. We are modernizing the UI and enhancing user experience. It's needed to happen, and we're excited to actually make it happen. We're going to give a demo on that. Brett will give a deep dive into this a little bit. He'll also give a deep dive on PowerPay, and we're partnering with Switch to deliver on the promised base utility of Green, the ability to buy energy with Green. We're not going to talk about voting and decentralization today, but the objective of that is to complete Green's decentralization mandate and to really support that. But all of this sums into this base utility, this base step as we continue forward. So with that, I'm going to pause there and turn it over to Brett to jump into the new UI.
Hey, Thomas, thanks. Also, thanks, Stephen, for opening up the call. Good to see everybody here. We're excited to present today and show you guys what we've been working on, kind of behind the scenes. My name's Brett. part of the engineering team here at Set Power Free. Thomas reminded me of something earlier, and we didn't talk about it before the call, but there is an issue with the official Discord community. A lot of people can't join it. I can't join it. Some people of our team can't join it. We don't know what's wrong with the I accept terms button. We're working on it. We'll get that fixed soon. It's not by design. It's just there was an issue with it, and we're trying to fix it. So as you know, most of us are new here on the team. I'm new. Most of the engineering team's new. Thomas is new. So we're trying to wrap our arms around this, September, October, November timeframe is when we all kind of came in and coalesced. We're trying to build out this vision, as Thomas said, and we have a pretty good one on paper looking out 5 years. This is just one little piece of it. So building that roadmap, we had to start somewhere. We wanted to start. We started with many things under the covers, as you will, in the back end. And so this will be the first visual thing you guys will really see. So we'll go to the next slide and we'll go over a couple of the changes that we're making. So as part of base utilities, step 1 in this long-term roadmap, we are trying to distinguish ourselves from Grain United and from Grain the blockchain to make it clear what Set Power Free is, its own website. And so what you'll see on the screen is we've added a couple things here. There's a new sidebar on the left. The screen in the background is the one you're currently used to looking at on the UI. The one in the foreground is the new design. So just it's fresh, it's easier to navigate, easier to see, and we've added some more analytics and some more data to it. So go to the next slide, Thomas. So this is your new profile page. This is a boring one, but this was the first one we got done with the new skinning design. We had to show it. It's really functional. The whole thing works. So it's pretty exciting. We're working behind the scenes to get all this stuff done, and we'll be publishing this out to production soon. So you guys can all see it when you log in, this new stuff. Let's go to the next one. This is the distribution info page. So right now it's the list of distributions that we've Set Power Free is given out. This one is more detailed. It shows you a nice graph over time, and also some more information on top. You can go to the next one. This one's really unique because you don't see a rewards history like this in the current UI. You do see something like this when you're running the Node software. We're taking all that data from the Node software, all the UI components, I should say, from the Node software, and bringing it into the UI. So you'll be able to see things like how many nodes are running, if your nodes are running, when, distributions over time and rewards over time. So that's exciting stuff. Let's go to the next one here, Thomas. So we know it's been a long time. When I started here, we were talking about PowerPay. This is a few months ago. I had no idea what it was, had no idea how it worked. And so we're actively working on it right now. We actually have people, all of us, on a daily basis on our team are pushing forward on PowerPay. So we had in the past, came up to a couple of hiccups, we fixed those, now we're moving forward again. And the path is very clear, and we're going to get there. So let's go to the next screen. This is just showing your PowerPay rebate history. So we'll go over how PowerPay might work in the next screen. It's still we're still working on the workflow of it, but this screen shows you if you've paid your power bill and you've received a rebate for that payment, then you'll see that your rebates here. So it's kind of exciting. We can let's go back one more. Let me mention that we have a partner that we're working with called Switch. Switch allows us to take the green, the ERC20 Ethereum token, and put it on a card to be paid. So you can use that to pay your power bill. So you'll see coming in our UI, you can see down at the bottom right corner, powered by Switch. We're building an integration with Switch so that the accounts can be linked together. So when you're using PowerPay and you're sending your green to Switch to pay your power bill, it should be really seamless on the front end here to send your green over and to see the transactions that you paid for. So that's some of the back end stuff we're working on to make sure that works well. So maybe we can go next. Okay, so this is a process of how PowerPay might work. It's still under consideration. We're still trying to make sure that all the steps are correct. The final process of PowerPay is going to be presented to the community for approval before it's rolled out. So before we can use PowerPay, we're going to present this to you guys, and you guys can give approval that this is how it would work. So let's start over on the left side on My Green Wallet. This is a representation of the UI you have today. You log in, you see how much green you've minted. This minted green can be PowerPay. What PowerPay does is take that minted green and converts it into cash, kind of. It converts it to Switch, which gives you a debit card number that you can use to pay for power. If you do that and follow that process, there's a 10% rebate of the green you used that goes back to your green wallet. So let's give an example down on the bottom right corner. If you were to spend 100,000 of your green tokens for power, you would receive a rebate of 10,000 tokens back to you, or 10,000 ERC20 tokens back into your green wallet. The great thing about PowerPay is this is, again, starting at the beginning of trying to set power free. We have to start somewhere. We have to start with some way to make this giant thing we're trying to accomplish little bite-sized pieces. Used to say, how do you eat an elephant? Just one bite at a time. That's what we're just one little piece at a time. We're trying to get there. So the other thing that PowerPay allows us to do is for you to share your coins you've earned with your friends. So if you want to click next here, you can take the ERC20 tokens, the minted green that you have, and send it to one of your friends. They could also use PowerPay. So go ahead to the next, click one more time, Thomas. There we go. So same process. Takes the ERC20 tokens, the Ethereum tokens that you've earned, turns them into cash for a Switch card that you can use to pay your power company, and then your friend can receive the rebate for using that green on there to pay their power bill. Again, this may change. This is still under, we're still going through and making sure we have all the pieces and parts right. And so before this goes live, we'll present it to you guys for approval. And thank you so much. I'll turn it back over to you, Thomas.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brett. Really, really excited about the steps that we're making so far. Again, we know it's a long time coming, and there's a lot more. There's a lot more that we're not showing here. We're just showing the tip of the iceberg, but we really want to make sure that we are completely compliant, that we're executing appropriately, and that we're moving forward with confidence and making sure that there's no confusion, but there's only drive going forward. And we're just super excited about it. So turning to the closed Q&A, I just want to linger here and just kind of give some recognition. So thank you again to those who submitted. So this was the breakout of our responses as of last night. We got 22 responses, including one test. So I had run this survey through a test, so I had to throw out my response. So really 21 responses. But there is overlap here. This chart doesn't accurately capture those who have smart nodes and light nodes. There is some overlap, but it is mostly the community really came out and gave some responses. We hope to see even more responses come the March call, so we can get a more representative sample. But this is the breakdown of the categories of your questions. So as you can see, the biggest category, of course, is PowerPay. No surprise there. We're excited that we're able to talk about this. This is the primary focus of our update, kind of the pinnacle, if you will, and is critical in shipping out an MVP version of PowerPay. We expect, as Brett has talked about, that as Brett talked about, that we will definitely present to the community. We'll share that with the community so that people can understand how it is. But we also recognize that we're an agile software company. We're building something that frankly might be a little bit embarrassing when we first launch it. It might not be perfect. You notice today that it's not a perfect design, but the intent of that is to really help us to identify where we can improve and how we can fine tune it so we can make sure that we hit an appropriate market fit, whether it be making sure that we're balancing sell pressure with buy pressure, but really making sure that we're ticking all the boxes and making sure that it is a sustainable long-term program. As far as roadmap, again, fully really excited that we got to talk about it a little bit today. More to come on this in the future. 9% of you asked about node sales, and something that we just, to be clear on this and so that the community knows this, we turned off node sales as advised by our legal and compliance team temporarily during Green/Blockade's node rebate. We didn't think it was appropriate to be selling while also rebating and doing that program. And so we're following legal's guidance. And so when we get a thumbs up and we're comfortable as a business, we'll turn everything back on. But for now, they'll remain off for a little bit longer. Some of you also asked about the SEC and exchanges. Totally fair question, but I'm not going to add anything we're not going to add anything at this time beyond what Daniel stated in the previous call, where he gave us a great in-depth address about the status quo, about where the SEC is, and also about exchanges. But know that things are being worked forward with confidence, and I will defer to the legal team. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to them, and we're happy to funnel them to them. A couple of you asked about solar, which we were able to give a brief update on, and also regarding Switch, the Switch trading wallet. I've captured that question, and I'll pass that over to Switch, and so that Switch can choose how to answer that. I'm not going to speak for them at this point to discuss their products or services. As far as the last two categories here, communications and the team, really, as stated before, we are really excited about the progress we've made, the ability, excuse me, to get down to these calls on a regular basis. We're excited about the potential of the new Green Community Call and really bifurcating that and supporting the maturity of our Web3 community here and helping to be a catalyst in that area. Really, really hope to see you on the next call for the 14th of March, and really hope to see several of you guys step forward to be either the host or to be a speaker and be spotlighted at that event. And then finally, regards to the team, we would love to perhaps in a different call highlight the team that's behind here that's working with Set Power Free and really develop on that. Excuse me. But really, all this really comes down to all of this information, all of this data really comes down to a thank you. Thank you to the team. Thank you to the community. As Steven said, it's wonderful to be a part of the community. We love being part of the community and really love being a builder with you and look forward to be building more closely with you. So on behalf of all of us, this is our update, and we're really grateful to you. And I'll turn the time back over to Steven for any last remarks and to close the call.
Yeah, thanks, Thomas. I don't really have a whole lot to add to it. There was one maybe little piece of clarification that I wanted to give out there is probably just a little anyway, just a misclarification, but the distribution is not given out by SPF. And I think that was kind of said in passing, not on purpose. But the distribution does happen through the green contract that is on the Ethereum blockchain currently. And so, but anyway, the point is SPF is building tools that will allow individuals to see greater reporting, get greater access, and of course enhance the utility. That's the whole purpose of I think what the SPF community is adding here to the green community, and so that's really exciting. But no, I just want to say a huge thank you also to you, Thomas, to you, Brett, and the whole team at SPF. Uh, what I am getting out of today's call is we as community can step up and step in, and anybody that has great ideas of how we can gain and add more utility to the green project, do so. I mean, this is not a one man or one team show. This is a community effort, and I have believed in and have loved this project since its vision that I learned about before its even inception, and now since 2018 when it actually got on the Ethereum blockchain and started to individuals began to contribute and to mine. I've been part of that. I've loved it, and I still love it. I mean, there's something to say about a project that has this kind of longevity, that is moving forward, where it's attracting new members on a regular basis who are willing to put in time, effort, and resource into continuing to improve and make it better and better. So I'm personally just ecstatic about this. Really thrilled to see who steps up and wants to contribute, as always, because the more the merrier, right? That's kind of what it's all about. But anyway, thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Brett. Appreciate you guys. Thanks everybody in
Absolutely.
the community as well, and we'll see you next month.
Fantastic. Thank you. Please reach out, feedback. We love it. Keep it coming. So we're keen to improve and keen to keep progressing. Thank you, Stephen, for those words. Thank you for everyone.